In section 6, we turn to the derived stems, the non-cal stems. Middle weak verbs are rare in the PL, PUAL, and HITPAL stems, the stems that would double the second root letter. This is most likely due to the fact that it is more difficult to double a letter which is weak. Middle weak roots do, however, commonly occur in both the HIFIAL and HOFAL. The HIFIAL perfect of middle weak roots is characterized by the typical Hierek Yod vowel you would expect in the HIFIAL, and by the addition of a Holam Vav mater before any suffix that begins with a consonant. Remember, the suffixes are the same perfect suffixes you know well. Also, as in the Cal perfect of middle weak roots, there will be no vowel pattern difference between a middle Vav or middle Yod verb. So the HIFIAL perfect of the strong form, katal, would be hiktil, hiktila, hiktalta, hiktalt, hiktalti, hiktilu, hiktaltim, hiktaltin, hiktalnu. Compare now the HIFIAL perfect of kum, the middle weak paradigm verb. Hakim, hakima, hakimoha, hakimot, hakimoti, hakimu, hakimotem, hakimoten, hakimonu. The tip-offs that a middle weak verb is in the HIFIAL are the prefixed he that you would expect in a HIFIAL perfect and the Hierek Yod vowel that you would expect in a HIFIAL perfect. You will note that the vowel under the he typically will instead be at tsere, and anytime the suffix, for instance in the second masculine singular, starts with a consonant like ta, it will be preceded by the Holam Vav. The preceding vowel sound means the suffix can no longer have a dagesh. 3 notes. This Hierek prefix vowel lengthens to sere in the third person forms. That will reduce to a hatef patach in the first and second person forms. Second, as we just mentioned, adding the Holam Vav before the consonantal suffix will cause the tav to spirantize, meaning that it can no longer have the dagesh leni inside the letter. Third, note that particularly with third aleph verbs, such as the very common verb bo, to come or enter, the Holam Vav may not be present. So you could have chevetim or cheviotim. Each of these forms is a HIFIAL perfect, second masculine plural of bo. 2 examples. First, Genesis 17:7. Vahakimoti et beriti beni uveneka uvein zareka achareka. So begin with the verb vahakimoti. Here we have a HIFIAL converted perfect. Now you'll note that the vowel is a bit unexpected. Typically with a converted perfect you would have va. In this case the patak is because the following letter has the compound schwa from the A-class vowel, and that's influencing the preceding vowel to become the slightly less expected va. But this is from a string of converted perfects. It is a HIFIAL converted perfect, first common singular of the hollow root kum. I will make stand, or I will establish, definite direct object marker, then barit, covenant, plus the possessive suffix, first common singular, my covenant. I will make stand my covenant, or better, I will establish my covenant. Then bain, plus the first common singular suffix, between myself, and bane between you, u, and bane between zara, seed, plus the possessive suffix, second masculine singular, your seed, or your descendants, achare, after, second masculine singular suffix, after you. Second example, 1 Samuel 25:35. Vayekach David miyada et asher hevi'ah lo. So begin with a Cal narrative, third masculine singular. Note that you only have two root letters, but the dagesh inside the kof is the tip-off that we have here, the irregular verb lakach. David received, Cal narrative, third masculine singular of lakach. Note that we've gone again the usual word order, verb, subject. Mi yada. The mi is min. The noon has assimilated, and you see the dagesh in the following yod, plus the noun yad, hand, plus a, the third feminine singular possessive suffix, from her hand, woodenly. In English we just say from her. Et, marking the definite direct object. Asher, the relative pronoun. What? Hevi'ah, hiphil perfect, third feminine singular of bow. And again, in the perfect, remember that you don't see vowel classes. You always see the hirek yod of the hiphil. So what she had brought, what she had, if you want to be wooden, made come lo to him, what she had brought to him. In the hiphil imperfect, all three vowel classes of middle weak roots, those that have a U vowel, an I vowel, or an O vowel, will show an identical formation. It will always be a formation that has the characteristic hirek yod vowel of the hiphil imperfect. Compare the strong paradigm with katal to two others, the hiphil imperfect of kum and the hiphil imperfect of sim. With the strong verb we have yaktil, taktil, taktili, aktil. Yaktilu, taktelna, taktilu, taktelna, naktil. With kum, with the middle weak root letter being replaced by a hirek yod, we instead have two syllables in the basic formation of the third masculine singular. Yakim, takim, takim, takimi, akim. Yakimu, tukimena, takimu, tukimena, nakim. And sim, even though it is a middle yod verb instead of the middle vav, has the identical formation. Yasim, tasim, tasim, tasimi, asim. Yasimu, tusimena, tasimu, tusimena, nasim. You will recall that in the Cal imperfect, you could distinguish the different vowel classes of middle weak verbs. We had yakum for an U class, a U class, but we had yasim for the I class vowel, and then we had yavo for the O class vowel. In the hiphil, on the other hand, all three forms are made with the hirek yod. That means that in the Cal and in the hiphil, you will have an identical form with a middle weak verb, which is middle yod. The other two forms you'll be able to tell apart formally, but only context will be able to distinguish whether yasim is in fact a Cal imperfect of the middle weak root sim, or a hiphil imperfect of the middle weak root sim. Two examples. First, Numbers 1, 51. Uvachanot hamishkan yakimu oto chalivim. So we begin with an infinitive construct, and, when, and then the infinitive construct, chanot, which is the cal infinitive construct of chana, a third hay verb. Remember that in third hay verbs, the infinitive construct loses the hay and replaces it with the tav. So cal infinitive construct of chana, to pitch or to set up a tent. So, and when the tabernacle is set up to be more wooden, and in the pitching of the tabernacle, then yakimu, this is a hiphil imperfect third masculine plural of kum, so to make stand or to raise. They shall raise oto, ot, the marker of the definite direct object, plus o, the third masculine singular suffix. Then the subject. So we go verb, object, subject. The subject, the Levites. The Levites shall raise it. Second example, Exodus 18:20. Vahaya kol hadavar hagadol yaviu eleka v'kol hadavar hakaton yishpatu haim. So we start with a cal converted perfect third masculine singular of the verb haya, and it will be. This really is just introducing the suggestion that is being made. Kol hadavar hagadol, every matter, davar is word, thing, affair, or matter, every matter, and then that is described by the attributive adjective gadol, every big matter or great matter, yaviu, hiphil imperfect third masculine plural of bo. Bo in the cal is to come or enter, so in the hiphil it's to make come, in other words, to bring. Let them bring every great matter, eleka, el, the preposition, to, plus ka, you, second masculine singular. So in context, we then can distinguish that this is not even just a hiphil imperfect, but it's a hiphil jussive. May they bring, let them bring every great matter to you. And kol hadavar hakaton, every small matter. Now we have a cal jussive, third masculine plural of shafat, to judge. Let them judge themselves. The hiphil imperative, infinitive construct, infinitive absolute, and participle are formed as you would expect. The only significant change is that the patak vowel of the strong verb forms typically lengthens to commas because you have lost the middle root letter in the form you see. Compare the forms of katal to the forms of kum. The hiphil imperative masculine singular of the strong verb katal would be hak tail. Remember that when the imperfect's prefix is removed, the hay of the hiphil returns for the imperative. With kum, we have ha came. The same tsere vowel you would expect. However, the loss of the middle root letter, which is weak, has caused the lengthening of the prefix vowel under the hay to become a comments. The hiphil infinitive construct of the strong verb would be hak teal. With kum, we have ha kim. Again, the middle root letter has been replaced by the hirek yod, and you have a lengthened vowel under the hay. The hiphil infinitive absolute of the strong verb would be hak tail. In kum, we have ha came. Again, the middle root letter is not evident, and we have a lengthened vowel under the hay. Then finally, the hiphil participle masculine singular of the strong verb would be mak teal. With kum, we have may keem. Two examples. Psalm 119:38. Hakem le avdeka im rateka. So the verb hakem, you see, is a hiphil imperative masculine singular. Confirm or make stand. Le avdeka. So the le is the preposition lamed. The ka is the second masculine singular possessive suffix. In between, we have the noun eved, servant. Confirm for your servant, imrateka. Notice again you have ka, the second masculine singular possessive suffix, and this is amra, word. So with the suffix your word. Confirm your word to your servant. Second, Leviticus 18:3, Eretz Canaan asher ani mevi etkem shama. So Eretz Canaan, a construct phrase, the land of Canaan. Remember, the whole phrase is definite because Canaan is a proper noun. Asher, the relative particle, where, ani, the pronoun I, then mevi, a hiphil participle, masculine singular, of the root bo. Bo in the cal is to come or enter, and the hiphil is to bring. So the land of Canaan, where I am bringing etkem, you, this is the suffix right there, you, shama, sham is there, plus the directive hey. The hofal forms of middle weak roots, remember the hofal is the passive counterpart to the hiphil, will consistently show the shurek vowel in the perfect, imperfect, and participle. The shurek, the u sound, which is so characteristic of the passive, will precede the first root letter and will follow the prefix, whether that prefix is the hey of the hofal perfect or the typical imperfect or participle prefixes. The paradigms for kum are hukam, hukama, hukamta, hukamt, hukamti, hukamu, hukamtem, hukamten, hukamnu. For the imperfect, we have yukam, tukam, tukam, tukami, ukam, yukamu, tukamna, tukamu, tukamna, nukam. And then for the participle, we have mukam, mukam, mukemet, mukamim, mukamot. You'll notice that you have a pretty strong and clear tip-off that in any of the hofal forms of a hollow root, you have the shurek preceding the root letter. This will typically make the identification of hofal middle weaks a relatively easy endeavor. Consider these three examples. First, Exodus 40, verse 17. Vayehi b'chodesh harishon b'shana hashenit b'echad lachodesh hukam hamishkan. So we begin with Vayhi, the cal narrative third masculine singular of Haya, which is one of our typical openings of a narrative. And it was, or we even may not translate it at all in English. Ba, on, notice that we have ba, so on the first month, the first one, on or in Shana Hashenit, the second year, B, on Echad Lahodesh, the first of the month, Hukam HaMishkan. HaMishkan is the tabernacle. Hukam is a hofal perfect, third masculine singular of kum. As a hofal, it is going to be causative and also passive. So the tabernacle was set up. Second example, Jeremiah 27:22. Bavela yuva'u v'shama yehu ad yom pokdi otam. So we begin Bavela. This is Bavel, the proper name Babylon, plus a directional he. Remember, the directional he cannot take the stress, so the word is pronounced Bavela. Then the verb here, yuva'u. So here we have a hofal imperfect, third masculine plural of bo. So bo in the cow would be to come, and the hiphil would be to make come or to bring. In the hofal, it would be the passive of that. They will be brought to Babylon. V and shama, there, yehu, they will be. Kal imperfect, third masculine plural of the third he verb, haya. And they will be until ad yom, the day of, this is in construct, pokdi. Notice that the stress is on the second syllable. This means our first syllable has a kametz hatuf. It is a closed, unaccented syllable. When you pronounce it that way, you will be tipped off that this is a kal infinitive construct of the root pakad, to visit, appoint, or inspect, plus a first common singular suffix, my visiting, and otam, ot marking the definite direct object marker, and am, the third masculine plural suffix. The day of my visiting them. Thirdly, 2 Kings 12:10, V'natnu shama hakohanim shomerei hasaf, et kol hakesef hamuva beit Adonai. So begin with the verb, a kal converted perfect, third masculine or third common plural of natan, to put or place or give. So, and they put shama, there. Now the subject follows, ha, definite article, plus kohanim, masculine plural, priests. So the priests put there. And the priests are described as shomerei hasaf. Shomerei is a kal participle, masculine singular, masculine plural, of shamar, and as a kal participle masculine plural in the construct, it's shomerei. So kal participle masculine plural construct form of shamar, the ones who guard what? Hasaf, the entrance. So the priests who guard the entrance put there, and now et marks the definite direct object, which is a construct phrase, all of the money, and then the participle hamuva, a hofal participle, masculine singular, of bo. So all the money which was brought. Notice that the participle modifying money therefore matches it in both of them having a definite article. And then brought where? Beit Adonai, to the house of the Lord.